Welcome back to the Vibe House. This is the best fucking show in the entire world. And if you try to tell me that it's not the best fucking show in the entire world, piss on my leg, baby. Piss all over my fucking 3 legs, dude. Just whip that dick vagina out and start urinating on my legs. Anyways, here we are in episode 2. Last episode, Harley got her ass licked by everybody in the house. Anyways, before we get into today's challenge, let's go talk with some of the other squatters. Let's see what they're talking about in the house today. Why, yeah, what? Oh yeah, X. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Leave this place. X. What? What does that even mean? No, there's nothing gay about putting a finger up your ass, Salvador. There's nothing gay about that. How would you know? You're not even a dude. You're not even a guy. What the fuck? You don't know anything, Aurora. Okay, I regret doing that. I regret doing any of that. So let's just call them all in right now. Let's go. Attention, all squatters, please make your way to the Lazy Lounge for today's special challenge of the day. Oh shit, it's time for a new challenge. So this is really exciting because last week I had no power, but this week I could have some power, and like that could be pretty okay. I'm thinking that would be pretty alright. Aha! I almost got booted off the show last week, which would have sucked because it's only the first episode. And only losers get kicked off the first episode. And I am Juke McDonald's, and I'm not a fucking loser, okay? So another challenge begins. I'm excited to see what happens. Personally, I think that a lot of crazy shit could happen. It's me, Arlo, the Rational Skeptic. I'm so excited to dip my toes into this week's challenge. I'm sorry I just said toes, that's disgusting. I am fucking getting wet right now. Hey host, what's the challenge, man? What's the challenge? What are we doing? What's going on? What's gonna happen to us? Are we gonna experience life and death in 5,000 different facets? No, Kaz. Why don't you let me say some things before you just... No, Kaz. None of that. That's a little ridiculous. All we're gonna be doing today, last challenge was very difficult. You really had to like pull out the stops for that one. For our first challenge, gonna admit, it was a little crazy, but I'm gonna dial it back this time, alright? It's gonna be very chill. It's gonna be very relaxed. We're gonna be doing barely anything. You guys don't have to move a muscle. Okay? Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, Salvador, it sure does.
I can't fucking wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Tessa, it sure does. So, this week's challenge is I'm gonna put a cage on everybody's head, right? And then when the cage is on your head, I'm gonna release rats into the cage. And they're gonna start biting your face off. They're gonna start tearing skin and flesh off of your face, possibly hitting bone. All you guys have to do, all you squatters have to do is just sit there. And the person who can sit there with the cage on their head the longest wins MB this week.
I do not like this. I do not like this. I do not like this.
What? Why is everybody yelling at me? You guys are always yelling at me.
Because this is a fucking stupid challenge. I don't want to do this.
Well, you better do it, Tessa. If you want any shot at MB, especially after your alliance got fucking sniped this week, you're gonna want to do it.
Fine. I guess you have a point. After Harley got eliminated, that stupid fat bitch, I'm all on my own. I had an alliance with her, but she went to go rat me out for fucking Xanax, of all drugs. You know, the opioid crisis is really serious, and I don't understand why Harley is just going to perpetuate some more stereotypes by being the fucking bitch who goes over and it's like, I don't understand that cunt, and I never will. But I'm glad she's out of the house because I don't have to deal with that bitch anymore. I have a lot of names for her, none of them pleasant, but it's okay. She screwed me back. She screwed me back so hard. Now I have nobody left in this house, and I don't know what to do. Oh, I think it's time to find Jesus again. All right, everybody, on your marks, get set, rat. What did I think of the rat challenge? I think I could have about, 27,000 better ideas. Like, I would just like to speak to the producers on the show. I want to know what rocks they're smoking and where I can get it. I did not appreciate that. I look like Jesus from Passion of the Christ. I actually kind of liked it.
As the competitors were one by one wiped out by the deadly rats chewing their eyeballs out, only 2 remained. Tessa and Salvador, otherwise known as Sally.
Why did you have to say that? I'm getting my face bitten off by rats and you really had to say fucking Sally? This show is a piece of shit.
I agree. I don't even know why I'm still here anymore.
It's because, Tessa, you're trying to win the Vibe House, which is the coolest house in the
Shut the fuck up!
Hey, Tessa, I have an idea.
What?
Your alliance got killed, right? Your alliance got absolutely sniped and like there's no survivors except for you.
Yeah, that's a non-delicate way to put it, but whatever.
Listen, I have a proposition for you. If I throw the competition and give this one to you, will you join me and Aurora's alliance and guarantee us safety this week?
Hell yeah, brother!
For real? You'd really do that? Like, no shit. Like, you actually would?
Yes, Salvador, for God's sake, just do it already. I want this to be over!
Okay. Just had to make sure, you know. And with that, Tessa is the last one standing. Congratulations, Tessa. You have now become the new master bedroom, which means that you can put up 2 people to, that means you can put up 2 people you want kicked off the show, and one of them, maybe, will go.
You know, I really think this is a rags to riches story. I went from having my alliance sniped to now being MB. Now, I don't really know Aurora that well, but me and Sally have had our, ups and downs, or tips and tats and whatever. But I feel like after he made that deal with me, it's time to finally get a new rapport with this man. I'm so excited, I hardly.
Hey, Salvador, that was a really good move getting Tessa on our side. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty much the best player of VIBEHAUS ever, right? Hey, Tessa, how's it going?
Pretty alright, Aurora. How are you doing? How are your titties hanging in the air?
What?
Hey, let's go check out my MB, huh?
Hell yeah. Look at them scampering off to go see the MB. I could tell them myself. It's not that big a deal. Oh, come on, Toby. You said it yourself. It was pretty dope. I know you're jealous you're not in there a second week in a row. Listen, all I'm saying is that, they're gonna get a taste of it now, and they're gonna get cocky. And then they're gonna think that they can actually play this game. Well, guess what? It's me. I'm gonna be the one who's playing the game. Tobias! Why don't you just let people enjoy things? It's a really nice room, and it feels really good to be in control of it. I don't understand why you're just trying to take things away from females. Oh my, I'm not having this conversation with you. Aha! Hey, Arlo, what the fuck was up with that challenge, am I right?
You know what, Juke? It was pretty bad. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was a pretty bad challenge.
But, anyways, I was just thinking, what do you think our next move should be, as an alliance? What should we do? Tessa got the power. Should we go try to tell her who we want kicked off the show? No, that would be stupid, actually, never mind. Why would we tell the MB who we want kicked off the show? I would never do something like that, would you?
It almost seems like he knows what's going on, but I highly doubt that. As a rational skeptic, I don't think that someone with as little brain cells as Juke could possibly know what's going on in this house at any given moment in time. However, I just think it was a moment of irony, possibly coincidence, that he would say something like that to me. But maybe I'm reading too much into the situation. I don't know.
Wow, this room is fucking epic. I would skin wolves in here for fun.
Hey, Salvador, I've been thinking, when we were in Alliance before and we had no power, absolute jack shit, and kind of the odds were stacked against us, but we luckily stayed off the block somehow just by, not being an asshole. Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought the idea of not doing anything was pretty appealing, but now that we actually have some power together as a final 3, I think we should make a move. I think we should make a serious money move. Well, what serious money move did you have in mind? I think we gotta take a big shot at the Mega Alliance.
Holy shit!
Whoa, Aurora, that's ballsy. Are you sure you don't have any testicles under there? Don't look. Anyways.
Whoa, wait. We're talking about the alliance where Liberty got all those butterflies, right? There's no way she got them herself?
Yeah, that has to be a Mega Alliance at work. Liberty must have somehow gotten everybody to give her butterflies. That way she would win, guaranteeing other people's safety. Kinda like how Sally threw the competition for you because he couldn't stand getting bit in the face by rats. Neither could you, bitch, cause you lost too, so neither could you. Anyways, my point is, I think we gotta take a crack at them. I think we gotta kind of split the house like that, you know what I mean?
I think that's a pretty good idea. I'm on board with that. It would make us feel like a real threat. And especially after being in an alliance with Harley, I don't want to float in this game anymore. I can already tell I barely got any screen time last episode because we did jack shit.
Exactly. Well, so how are we gonna take a shot at this alliance if we don't know who's in it? That's what we have to do now. We have to figure out everybody who's in that alliance. That way we can figure out the most threatening targets and put them on the block. Well, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna go around the house and ask people, hey, are you in the Mega Alliance? No, obviously not, Salvador. I think we can figure it out without leaving this room. Let's start here. 10 people in the house, Butterfly Challenge starts. We have to figure out
Who decides to join the Mega Alliance with Liberty to give her all the butterflies? Let's start with everybody in this room. I'm not going to rule us out because there could be some mega super duper trickery going on where one of you two could be in the alliance, but I don't think that's the case. And I'm going to prove it now instead of thinking about it all night and biting my nails and just being anxious about it. Very clearly, the first big piece of evidence is the leaderboard from yesterday. Liberty got all the butterflies, we know that. Tessa got second, and I got third. If we were in the alliance, we would have given all of our butterflies to Liberty, and there's no way we would have placed so high. And it's kind of a pain in the ass that we didn't get to see the rest of the scores because it's going to make this a lot harder to figure out. But I can rule out Salvador too, because I'm pretty sure you weren't doing any shady business while we were hanging out all week. Right on. So, everyone in this room is ruled out. Nobody's in that alliance. Now let's move on to the block. Harley unanimously voted out. Doesn't even matter if she's in the alliance or not. That bitch got booted.
That bitch got booted.
That bitch got booted. Yeah, that bitch got booted. So now let's think about Juke. See, this is where it gets tricky because was he put on the block as like a pawn? Or is like, a fake out just to get Harley off? Or was he actually put up because he wasn't part of that alliance? Well, Liberty said he was sneaking around the MB or something. Right, that's her story. Is it believable is the question. I think it is because if he was just a fake out, she would have said the exact same thing she did for Harley, I think. I think she would have been like, oh, well, I don't really know you that well, or like, blah, blah, blah. But no, she had a very specific story. It was just the details of it. Juke was sneaking around the room.
Juke was sneaking around the room.
Exactly. So I think that kind of rules Juke out, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm like not 100% uncertain. And I'm leaning more towards the idea that he's not in the alliance. Also because of Arlo, we've seen them walking around a lot. I think they might be in an alliance together, but Arlo at the moment is up in the air because I don't know about you guys, but every time I see them, Arlo looks pissed off. Oh, mega pissed off.
So pissed off.
Yeah, so Arlo's up in the air. I'm pretty much the only thing he's doing for us right now is affirming my suspicion that Juke is not in the alliance. And talking more on mini alliances like that, you have me and Salvador, you had you and Harley, Arlo and Juke, and then Natasha and Tobias. Now, I am sus of these guys. I don't know about you. I'm sus of these guys.
Oh, believe me, they're very sus. When Harley went up to go take the Xanax with them, they shoot her off and said, don't take it with us. And when Harley was ready to, snitch on me like the rat bitch she is, Tobias shot her down. He actually wasn't listening to it. He just said, fuck off.
Really? That's interesting. The way I see it, that means Tobias kind of has like a code of honors or some shit for how alliances are supposed to go. And if you have one of those, you might as well be in an alliance yourself. The way it's looking though, Natasha's also in the alliance with them. I can tell you this also, when me and Salvador caught them in the hallway, they were, walking together, colluding together. They rushed off toward the MB together. So I think that means the two of them are together and they had to be at the MB real quick. So that also ties them to the MB. But there's like, there has to be something else. Like I feel like I have like some of the puzzle pieces, but I'm like missing some in the middle, and I really am putting myself through it right now. Okay, here's something for you. What is the timeline of events right now? Like, what is the relationship between Harley, Tessa, and the Xanax, and me, Aurora, in the hallway?
I know that they took the Xanax and then left.
And we saw them in the hallway, and Tobias was in a hurry because he was feeling it kick in. So I think what we have here as a timeline is Tobias and Natasha go to take the Xanax. Harley goes up and asks them for one. They shoo her away, realize she's annoying, and then they go to the MB to tell Liberty they want her kicked off. I think that might tie them together, honestly. I think that's why Harley was on the block. I think even the excuse that Liberty gave for Harley was bullshit, because she had to protect the fact that she was in a mega alliance. They don't want anyone to know they're working together. They're trying to be secretive. Like the Illuminati.
Oh my god, they're the fucking Illuminati.
So we've grouped Tobias, Natasha, and Liberty into our suspected mega alliance. But I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a fourth person. I'm gonna cut it off at 4, because I doubt that half the house would agree to give those butterflies to one person. So Harley and Juke are ruled out for the fourth person. But Arlo and Kaz are still up in the air. Kaz. Now, I don't know shit about Kaz, but I've seen Arlo and Juke hanging out together. I have a theory, but it's kind of weak. So, Arlo and Juke are in that alliance, and since Juke was on the block, I don't think Arlo is the fourth. And just the way they talk, I feel like out of the two of them, Arlo is the least likely to throw his butterflies toward another person. I think he would be like, oh, it's time to be skeptical about it and not give my butterflies to another person, because how do I really know if I can trust them? But Kaz is definitely the more friendly one. So, Not 100%, but I think we just figured out that the Mega Alliance responsible for giving all the butterflies to Liberty and responsible for the nom-noms last week is Liberty, Tobias, Natasha, and Kaz. So I'm closer to certain about the first three, but I want to know more about Kaz. I can gather some info, easy. If Kaz is in the Mega Alliance and Tobias and Natasha would be sus about Kaz hanging out with anyone, it would be you, Aurora. You were the one asking questions in the hallway when we bumped into them. Tobias was talking to you, not me. You and Kaz hanging out, I feel like would read as information gathering, but me and Kaz hanging out would just be, you know, two bros shooting the shit. I can get behind that. I feel good about that.
Okay, so until further notice, I want to put up Tobias and Liberty, because Tobias gives me the willies, to be completely honest with you, and Liberty painted a huge target on her back by getting a Mega Alliance to give her all her butterflies. If anyone's the brains behind a 4-person alliance, it's probably those two.
Yeah, you're right. I'm content with this decision, and I'm glad we could all come together and agree on some shit as a final 3. Cheers to that! Whoa, Aurora, where'd you get that massive glass of pina colada? Hey, Kaz, there you are. Glad we could find you. Oh, hey Tobias, what's going on? Nothing much, how about you? Oh, you know, I'm just doing some light reading. That book is thicker than Tobias's wrist. Oh, you know. Hey, Kaz, I hate to bother you about game stuff and downtime, but I'm still sus about Liberty's last-second decision to put Juke on the block, and I figured I'd ask you about the whole thing. Oh, well, I can definitely tell you Juke was sneaking around the MB, and Liberty made up her own mind about giving him the boot afterward. I didn't really understand her decision, and I would have fought with her a little more, but she seemed set on explaining the story later. Sure, I embellished a little bit, but you know, I feel like if we have to take the final 4 down to a final 2, I'm definitely in Liberty's final 2, and I'm not saying that just because she wanted to pork me day 1. I'm saying it because Tobias and Natasha ran off and hung out, and me and Liberty came together and hung out. And you know, Molly really brings people together, so you know, I feel like if anything, it's me and her. And she has my loyalty right now, especially because that happened right in front of me. I gotta keep my word. I'm not gonna tell anybody anything about that. Unless, you know, it benefits me. And in this situation, it doesn't, because Tobias is gonna know Liberty's a liar, and Liberty's gonna know I'm a liar, and I don't want everyone in my alliance thinking I'm a liar, cause then, I'm gonna be the first one gone if someone from this alliance gets put on the block, which, I think we might. Well, you see, Kaz, I'm just a little confused by the whole thing, because I thought me and Natasha's reasoning behind putting Aurora on the block was more sound than putting Juke on the block just because he was snooping. Like, what could he have possibly been looking for? Hey, Sobi, I think you might be reading a little too hard into this, to be completely honest with you. Juke was probably just looking for Molly, and Liberty didn't want his hands on the stuff. That would sit very well with me if I heard it from Liberty herself. Hey, are you trying to break up the alliance or something? No, I'm trying to keep it together by getting the whole truth. But something seems off, and I don't want to keep prodding Liberty. So I figured I'd ask the person she spent the most time with for a different story. Well, you're not gonna get a different story because there's only one story. Kaz seems more sure about the whole thing than Liberty. But that could either mean that Kaz is covering for her, or I really am reading the situation wrong. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. To people's faces, that is. Either way, I feel like this alliance is divided because me and Natasha got kicked out of the MB for half the day. And I just feel like there's a little bit of extra chemistry between Liberty and Kaz. Well, thanks for being honest, but there's just something in me that says the group is divided. And I'm gonna be real with you. When Liberty said we couldn't come in the MB, I was really hurt by that, and it's been bothering me this whole time. Well, hey, Toby, we're not gonna learn anything by grilling Kaz about it. It was Liberty's MB. We should go talk to her. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll talk to her alone. I encourage you guys to keep your distance from the group until nom-noms. I trust you not to say anything incriminating until the ceremony. Kaz, can you go fetch Liberty for me so we're not all seen together? Oh, I will when I finish chapter 94 of Giant Rat Saves the Galaxy. You can finish it later. There's important stuff that needs discussed. Okay. I started looking for clues as soon as I stepped into the lazy lounge. I saw Juke, I saw Arlo, and I saw Liberty. Arlo and Liberty barely looking at each other. Either they don't fuck with each other whatsoever, or that's what they want me to think. So far, inconclusive. I'm still looking for Kaz. Hey, Liberty! Do you want to grab lunch? Oh, what's up, Kaz? I already ate. Oh, shoot. Maybe next time. Oh, I dropped my book. Oh, and my bookmark fell out, too. Do you remember the page? Yeah, I think so. Maybe page 350. No, 351. Geez, 351? I can't make it past the 10th page of a book like that. It's an easy read, you know, it got me back into reading and all. I can lend it to you if you like. I'll let you finish it first. Say, Kaz, you haven't eaten yet, right? Not yet? Wanna grab lunch? Are you asking me out? Sure. Alright, why not? Wow, didn't want to meet anywhere with, you know, sunlight? I know we met after Nom Noms the other day, but I want to clear the air about some stuff. I feel like our alliance is divided, and this doesn't have anything to do with what we already talked about. I'm bothered about you and Kaz hijacking the MB. Really? Yeah. I know we're trying to be on the down low about it, but the fact that even Juke got to step inside the MB before I did, it just doesn't sit right. I didn't invite him, just so you know. I'm not going to accuse you of anything like that. I'm not going to accuse you of anything, period. All I'm trying to do is tell you what I'm worried about before we implode or something. Okay, fair enough. But I have a sinking feeling we're already in trouble. So do I. You think someone from our Final Four is getting put up too, right? I'm very certain. We killed Tessa's alliance, and now she's MB. If she's not with us, she's either with Arlo and Juke, or Aurora and Sally. Before Kaz got me, I was in the lounge with Arlo and Juke. If Tessa fucked with them, they'd be in the MB right now. Sally was in the lounge too, but I haven't seen Tessa or Aurora all day. Then Aurora is probably discussing Nom Noms with Tessa. Best case scenario, they know nothing about our Final Four. Worst case scenario, they know everything about our Final Four. Real scenario is somewhere in between. Does it matter? Aurora never ended up on the block. We have no beat. Thanks to me, by the way. Doesn't matter. If we were Aurora and Tessa, who would we want to make a move on? 2 dipshits or 4 dipshits? Well, we don't know if they know about us. It's better to assume they're not clueless. I doubt you got away with getting an unfathomable amount of butterflies scot-free. There's gotta be a way to know what they know. Easy. Kaz and Sally are having a lunch date as we speak. That's a start. I doubt Kaz would agree to something like that if there is no potential to further his game, which at this point trickles down to our game. Yeah, totally. Same for Salvador, though. Exactly. The way I see it, there's 2 informants on either side getting info on each other over lunch. What do you think this means for us? Well, the impression I get from Salvador is some guy who's taken one too many hits to the head. Kaz, so far, has proven to me to be confident, agreeable, and inoffensive. Something I wish I was, to be completely honest. Someone like that can get whatever they want out of you without having to ask. I think we have them beat. Thanks for having lunch with me, Salvador. You know, when I eat alone, I get really depressed. I think it's because it reminds me of high school. Yeah, anytime. I'm bored. The girls kick me out of the master bedroom to have, you know, girl time, I guess. Powder their noses. What does that mean, anyway, when somebody says they're gonna powder their nose? I thought it always meant they were gonna go take a piss. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know anything about girls. Oh, I could teach you a lot about girls, Kaz. Really? Like what? Like, sometimes they just want nothing but to break your heart and make you feel like a sad piece of dumb shit that hates his life and wants to fucking drive his car off a cliff. Oh. Okay. Are you speaking from experience or something? Maybe I already said too much. I'm not gonna get too much into it. Okay, I mean, whatever you want, bro. It is nice to get away from Aurora for a second, though, because to be honest with you, she gives me the willies. Why? She reminds me of my ex. And I'm not just saying that because she looks like her. It's because she talks like she did, she acts like she did, and she's smart, just like she was. Oh no, Salvador, that must be really painful to deal with. I mean, it's whatever. But you know what? I'm gonna forget about it now. I'm just gonna have a sandwich and a soda and a pina colada and just relax by the waves with another bro dude. To bro dudes! I'm not gonna lie to you. I kinda have a squish on Salvador. He's tall, he's muscular, he's handsome, and he smells nice, but I can't let it fuck up my game. Something about this lunch just seems a little bit off to me, but I'm not gonna be like Tobias and run away from an opportunity to talk to another side of the house. No, Instead, I'm gonna match Salvador. I'm not playing cat and mouse with him, I'm playing chess. I'm prepared to do anything to dig up even the smallest amount of information on Kaz. I wonder what I'll have to do though. Am I gonna have to bend over backwards, or will it be as simple as asking a question? I guess we'll have to see. So how do you think your game is going so far? So he's already asking me about my game. Well, it's impossible to say. It's only the second episode. But I feel like I look pretty good in the eyes of everybody in the house. I don't know. Am I right in thinking that? I don't have a problem with you, and I don't think I know anybody that does. Well, that's fantastic. And, you know, the only reason I'm asking is because I know that you and Tessa made that deal. Right, yeah. I think I know what Salvador wants. I think that he and Aurora are already suspicious of our big alliance. I think they could have easily traced it back from Liberty getting all those butterflies, and I think they're trying to figure out who's in it. I could just tell him everything. I could tell him nothing. But I think I'm gonna have to settle for somewhere in between. I know something that Tobias and Natasha don't. I feel like I have some ammunition here. This is my chance. This is where I make my decision. Either I'm gonna be completely loyal to my side of the house, or switch sides on a dime, or I could have an opportunity to play both sides. If I can somehow steer Salvador to believe that Arlo is in the Mega Alliance, not me, he's the reason Juke was on the block, and not me, then I think I could get away with murder here. I think I could have Natasha, Tobias, Liberty, and Arlo's loyalty, as well as Salvador, Aurora, and Tessa's. I think I could get everybody in the house to consider me safe just because of this lunch with Salvador, and that makes me ecstatic. I love making friends. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Kaz. Tessa's not letting me or Aurora tell her what's what. She's going to make up her own mind about the nom-noms, so it doesn't matter how much sweet talking you do to me. I couldn't tell her who to put up, but I could tell her who not to put up. Me and Aurora are on that list already. Well, lucky you two. I wouldn't call us lucky. I would just say that we made a deal. And I think I could give somebody else the opportunity to make a deal, if you know what I'm saying. A deal? So he is just gonna come right out and say it. See, I thought this would be more exciting. I thought there'd be a lot more innuendo. I thought there would be a lot more this means that instead of that means this. And I thought that somehow we would, you know, kind of sneak around our words to each other. But Salvador wants to make a deal. It sounds like a safety deal to me. Is this somebody else me? I'm not talking to anybody else, am I? Well, if you mean me getting safety this week in exchange for something that you want, I think I'll take you up on it. It just depends on what you want. I want to know about you, Kaz. I want to know where you stand in this house. What would you be willing to tell me if it guaranteed your safety this week? Tell you? Oh, Salvador, I could tell you lies, I could tell you stories, I could tell you fables. I could tell you anything I wanted. Why is it about what I tell you? Why not make it about what I do for you? You know, Salvador, you're not too good at this game, but I'll humor you. Just because I think it's going to take me a little bit further to tell you something that's, well, not entirely a lie. Well, Salvador, I can tell you one thing. I can tell you somebody that's working with Liberty. You have my word. And who's that? Arlo. Really? So I'm sure at this point you know that Arlo and Juke were in an alliance, right? Because Juke was really tall and Arlo was really short and they thought it would be funny. I mean, I didn't know that was the reason, but sure. Well, anyways, it turns out that Arlo's really pissed off at Juke and he wanted him kicked off last week. That's why he asked Liberty to put him on the block. And how do you know this? Well, Liberty was hitting on me, and she invited me to come into the MB to have sex, but I told her I'm gay, so that didn't end up happening. And then Arlo came in, and Liberty made me hide under the bed so that he wouldn't think we're working together. And this is what Arlo said to Liberty, verbatim. He said, "Juke is driving me up the fucking wall. I can't stand him. I want him kicked off." He said he's annoying because he's biting his lip all the time and he sounds stupid, and how he looks like he wants to fuck everything he sees. And I was so tempted to, in that moment, from under the bed yell, "I can relate," but I knew I had to keep quiet, or else, you know, why was I in the room with Liberty? Then Arlo would be suspicious, and then I probably would have found myself on the block. So then Arlo left, and then I came out from under the bed, and I didn't ask Liberty what it was, but all Liberty told me was that was nothing. And then come to find out later at the Nom Noms, Juke's on the block? I think it was something. So Arlo's the fourth person in the Mega Alliance. I feel like this will be a surprise to Aurora and Tessa. I don't know about them, but I was definitely leaning more towards Kaz being in it. But would Arlo really give all those butterflies to Liberty? Maybe. Maybe. I'm trying to make myself sound as clueless as Salvador here, and I'm not trying to make it sound like I went behind Liberty's back. Because if she were to tell me you didn't see anything, and suddenly I went to go tell somebody that I saw something, then I would be interpreted as a snitch by Salvador, and Salvador wouldn't trust me whatsoever. But if I act clueless to the fact that anything shady was going on, and treat myself like a conspiracy theorist or someone who's, suspicious in the first place because he was never explicitly told to not say anything, then I seem a lot more trustworthy. So the story and the wording I've told to Salvador makes it seem like Liberty wasn't too terribly desperate to keep this whole thing under wraps, but I'm planting a seed in Salvador's head that maybe something more is going on, and I'm just an innocent bystander that was invited to do Molly in the MB. That's all I am, that's all I want to be, and if it guarantees me safety this week, and maybe even gives me a chance to play both sides of the house, I'm gonna take that chance! Because I'm not making up lies. I'm telling the truth. Arlo came into the room and asked for Juke to be kicked off, and then he was on the block. It looks pretty much like gospel to Salvador. So, I think I've got this week in the bag. I think I've just sealed the Ziploc. I think I'm good to go. Thank God Tobias asked me to talk to the man, because I wouldn't know where I stand. They'd probably think I'm in the Alliance. I think it's not that hard to narrow down. Unless I explicitly told them, then they'd think that I was still in it, because they wouldn't think that Arlo was in it, because they think he'd like Juke, but the truth is, he doesn't, and that is the truth, and I'm gonna say it's the truth because I'm not a liar. Great. I think we learned a lot. I had a great lunch with you, Kaz. Consider yourself safe this week. Thanks so much. Oh, way to go, Kaz. Aurora, Tessa, I have great news. What is it, Salvador?
Yeah, what's going on?
I found out who the fourth member of the Mega Alliance is. You did not.
You did not.
You did not, you silly goose. What are you talking about? So I had lunch with Kaz, and he revealed to me that Arlo is the fourth member of the Secret Alliance, and he thinks this because Liberty invited him into the MB to screw, and then Arlo comes into the MB, and Liberty makes him hide under the bed so she can discuss secret dealings with Arlo. And the secret dealings were, Arlo wanted Juke on the block, so he went and told Liberty about it. And then, when Arlo left, Cass got up and Liberty said it was nothing. Well, that sounds like something to me.
Yeah, that sure does sound like something.
I had my doubts about Arlo. I thought, would he really give all those butterflies to Liberty? But it seems like he would, since he trusts her with shady deals and nom-noms and shit. I mean, it seems like it makes sense. Does that change who we're putting up at all?
Arlo's probably more low profile than the other three. I would say they're bigger targets.
Attention, VIBEHAUS. It is now time for the super epic master bedroom person,
Tessa,
to make her way to the lazy lounge to make her pick for nom-noms. Right now, immediately, as soon as possible. Get your ass in here. I'm really glad Tessa didn't ask about how I obtained this information, because if I told her that I guaranteed Kaz's safety when I wasn't even MB or anything like that, if I used her MB powers to guarantee him safety when she never talked to him directly, that would make me look shady as shit. So I'm glad it was never brought up, because as long as it's not brought up, I'm not going to say a darn thing about it. I just hope that Kaz doesn't say anything to Aurora about what I said, about her reminding me of my ex, because that would make things very, very, very weird. So far though, it seems like this week is pretty good. I have no complaints. I got to make some deals with the MB, I got to take Aurora with me, I got to have lunch with Kaz, and to be honest with you, right now I don't know which one I want to bang more. You know what, I shouldn't say that. Can you...
Are you saying that you want to bang two of the other people in the house?
Gotta go. What's up, squatters, you fucking freeloaders? God, how long are you guys gonna be here? Am I right? Oh, hee hee hoo hoo. Okay, nobody's laughing. So welcome to the Nom Noms for episode 2. This is the part of the show where the current reigning MB decides who he or she wants booted off the goddamn show. So what are MB Tessa, please dramatically and forlornly make her decision as for who to kick off, because this is a very serious show. This show is very serious.
The first person I decided to nom is Liberty.
Well, I can see this coming from a mile away.
And the second person I decided to put up is of Tobias.
Well, it's official. Tobias is on the block.
That is all, thank you.
Ooh, she didn't even give a reason. Oh.
It's best not to incriminate myself by giving a specific reason as to why I put them on the block. It's kind of like when you get pulled over for doing 85 and a 25 and the officer comes by and asks you how fast you were going. You know, you don't want to incriminate yourself, you just want to say, I don't know.
You know, to be completely honest with you, I probably shouldn't have won MB week 1 because that is the only reason that I'm in this spot right now. And I'm not saying I feel bad about killing Tessa's alliance, but, you know, it's definitely a contributing factor. Either way, I'm gonna save myself from this block, and you will not see me going home in the second episode. Now I've got two options here. Either I win the save yourself, and I don't have to do anything crazy, or I lose the save yourself, and I have to bend this whole house over my knee and smack it on the ass for being a bad girl. We'll see what happens. I'm sure Earth would be more entertained by one of these scenarios, but I would be much happier to just take the easy way out, because I really don't feel like using my brain this week.
Oh, that's too bad, Tobias, because, do you know what the SYS is?
No, I have not been told yet. Why are you looking at me like that? Hey, Liberty, we're fucked. We're not fucked, Tobias, don't say that. We're just two squatters on the block, and we gotta do our best to get off. Well, I feel like at this point the entire house knows that we're in an alliance. You and me being on the block cannot be a coincidence. Well, is it the entire house, or Aurora? Are you gonna go talk to her or something? I have nothing to say to her. All I have to do is survive the SYS, and then I'm back to normal. Well, it's a good thing you're being so optimistic, Tobias, because this one's a real soul crusher. Everybody please come to the SYS ceremony, please. Welcome back to the good old fabled SYS. In order to save yourself, SYS this episode, one of you must fully understand the concept of the fourth dimension. You have an unlimited amount of time, and you have an unlimited amount of resources, and you can either pick from, you know, red paper and string, the old-fashioned conspiracy theorist route, or you can take, you know, metric fuck tons of psychedelics at the same time and try to figure it out that way. Are you kidding me? What? To my understanding, it is actually humanly impossible to understand the fourth dimension. But if the host is making it an SYS, either that means it is possible, or the producers have rigged this show to fuck me up the butt, because I feel like if I don't get myself off the block, I am a primo target. Although, Liberty was the person who won MB last week, so I feel like the other side of the house is already pointing their daggers at her. But at the same time, I know that my own alliance will turn against me. I have to save myself. Well, I already know I'm taking the metric fuck tons of psychedelics, so even if I don't win the SYS, this should be pretty fine. Host, as a rational skeptic, I would like to point out that it is humanly impossible to solve the fourth dimension. Oh, look who's a big old smarty pants, Arlo. Look who's a big old smarty pants. Oh, pinch your cheeks. Stop pinching my cheeks. So, like, what is the fourth dimension, anyways? Well, you see, Juke, we currently live in 3 dimensions: height, width, and length, also known as X, Y, and Z. But if you were to add a fourth dimension, that would be humanly incomprehensible because our brains are just not meant to understand it. But I think, given an infinite amount of time and a whole infinity's dedication to solving it, one human could fully understand the concept of the fourth dimension. Well, we can understand the concept, but the fact is that we cannot fully imagine it. Fully imagine it, fully understand it, I don't care how you want to word it. Basically, they have to come out living as fourth dimensional creatures. All this for an SYS? Don't you think this is a little, fucking insane?
You don't want to see insane, Aurora. You don't want to see the things that I've seen. You don't want to live the lifetimes that I have lived.
Okay, that's the last time I ask you anything. And it looks like our contestants are about ready to start solving the mystery of the fourth dimension. So, on your marks, get set, brain fuck. Look at them go. Liberty is taking like 80 tabs of acid at a time. And Tobias is doing some Pepe Sylvia shit all over the wall. Look at him, he's tacking papers over here and he's leading things over here. He's making theorems and everything. Tobias is pulling his hair out one strand at a time, and he wears glasses now for some reason. I don't even know where he got those glasses from. Liberty, on the other hand, has been rolling around on the floor for 500 years. I don't think she's making any progress, physically at least, but maybe the gears are turning very, very fast in her brain, or perhaps the gears are melting into the floor like ice cream, and then the ice cream goblets are coming up in the little goblins that teeter-totter around the room and start poking her in the little stomach flaps that she had. Tobias, on the other hand, looks like he's completely lost his mind, and he's talking to a room of people. His hair is also growing wild and shaggy, and he has this insane look in his eyes that he believes is caught in the middle of a mystery that he will never solve, and it's driving him to the tipping point of insanity. Liberty started doing jumping jacks. I don't know why. I think she's hallucinating drill sergeants telling her to do jumping jacks. Okay, and now she's getting the DMT. I don't know if that's a good idea, Liberty, personally, but I mean, hey, if you've got an infinity to figure it out, you know, more power to you. Tobias is now doing a handstand in the corner of the room while belting like Yoko Ono, and I think he's finally snapped. I don't know if he's going to win this SYS. It looks like the odds are completely stacked against him. But, you know, we're only about 50,000 years into an infinity here, so basically a drop in the endless infinite bucket. As a rational skeptic, I find it very hard to believe that we are actually experiencing 50,000 years. Okay, Arlo, well, this is not the show for rational skeptics, okay? If you want to explain everything, there's the door. I'm not leaving. I want to win the Vibe House. Then shut the fuck up, or I'm gonna throw you in there with Tobias, and he's definitely gonna skin you alive. Or maybe Liberty will start eating her fingers because she thinks they're french fries. You know, host, usually I would get along with you, but I really am not appreciating you perpetuating the stereotype that psychedelic drugs make you fucking crazy. They can, though, guys. You can really lose it if you fuck with drugs like that. Oh my god, what am I, in the middle of DARE or something? Yeah, what's next? Say no to drugs? Are you gonna make us take the 4th grade pledge?
I pledge to never to do drugs.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Of course, you have a lot to say about it, Natasha. Hey, don't look at me, bro. I just think everybody should be happy, and it doesn't matter what substances you take, but, you know, just, like, it's okay, man. We're all gonna be okay. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, Juke. No worries. We're all gonna be okay. Oh my god, I haven't said no worries in an entire episode. How is my brain not melted? I think we should stick to the good old wacky weed. I think we should take no drugs whatsoever, because your mind needs to be in peak condition, and your body needs to be in peak condition in order to be a surviving human in this hustle and bustle capitalist environment. Oh no, Arlo's gotten started on capitalism. It's all over. I thought you liked my capitalism rants. I don't hate them. You don't even know what capitalism is, do you? Yeah, it's when you start a sentence and the word is bigger and the letter is bigger than the rest of the letters. Anyways, back to the action here. It looks like Tobias is shamefully trotting around the room. He's doing somersaults, and I think he pooped in the corner. Liberty, on the other hand, is levitating. She is actually levitating. It's like she's astral projecting, but, you know, it's her entire body. But wait, what is this shocking development? It looks like Tobias is jumping for joy. I did it. I did it. I figured out the 4th dimension. It only took me 666,000 years to figure it out, but I finally did it. Oh, is that so, Tobias? Well, let me see your proof. Here you go. Yeah, this looks about right. Tobias wins. What? What? And that means Liberty is a loser, and she's still on the block. Liberty, if you'll please come out of your save yourself pod now. She's not moving. Yeah, she's not moving. She's not going anywhere. Well, you guys know the old saying, if you got 2 arms that ain't broken, drag that bitch out of the room yourselves. Cause we gotta get to the replacement ceremony now, which we didn't get to do last episode because Juke and Harley could not, you know, figure out a Rubik's Cube in 2,000 years, so God knows what would happen if they tried to solve the 4th dimension. Hey, that's not fair. We only had 2,000 years, they had an entire infinity. Because, Juke, I don't think that solving a Rubik's Cube is anywhere near as hard as solving the 4th dimension. I mean, it's equally as mind-fucking to me, so, you know, all the same. Right, anyways, everybody, get to the elimination room right now. If you don't get there right now, I'm gonna start driving a Zamboni, and I'm gonna run you all over. Here we are, everybody. This is the quasi-final couchdown. So I have to do a shorter laugh for this one because it's not really the final couchdown. Because, anyways, so what we have before us today is 2 people who have been previously nom-nommed, but 1 person who has won the Save Yourself Challenge. So, that means, Tessa, as MB, you must now name a replacement for Tobias on the block. Right here, this very second. I hope you've had plenty of time to think about it. Okay, so the way things seem, I don't think I'm getting put up as that replacement because Salvador said he guaranteed me safety. So either that means I'm under the radar, or that's what they want me to think. Ugh. So if Toby's being taken off the block and they really are gunning for our alliance, then that means either I'm going up or Kaz is going up. I don't want to think about having to fight against Liberty here because, you know, it was my idea to give her all the butterflies, and then she got MB and then killed Tessa's alliance, and then Tessa got MB and put Liberty on the block, and it's the only reason we're here. It's all because of me. My decision to give the butterflies to Liberty caused the butterfly effect that now might possibly be putting me in danger, and it makes me a little bit poopy pants. So Tobias, please leave the nom nom chair because you don't rightfully belong there anymore, and make your way over to the couch with the rest of the normal people. Normal people? What are normal people? What is anything? What does it mean? Oh my god, he's mind blown. Oh my god, he's mind blown. Tobias is totally mind blown right now. Mind? What is a mind? A mind is a beautiful thing to lose. Holy shit, I can't stand this anymore. Tobias, please go sit on the couch. To sit on the couch, I would have to move within the 3 dimensions. But currently, I cannot. Are you trying to tell me that because you understand the 4th dimension now, you don't understand the 3rd dimension? That's stupid, Tobias. When you graduate from 3rd grade to 4th grade, you still remember all the stuff you learned from 3rd grade. You wouldn't understand. You're not human. You don't know what it does to a brain like mine. Oh, boo-hoo, I'm Tobias. Go sit on the couch. Here we have an empty chair, and a butt needs to fill it. So, Tessa, who's it gonna be? Who have you decided to put up as your replacement nom nom?
My replacement nom nom for this week is... Natasha.
I am lost for words. I'm gonna have to play against Liberty. Oh my god. How am I gonna flip the house? How am I gonna get everybody on my side? I really don't know how Natasha's gonna get the whole house on her side and get her vote when all she's been doing is hanging out with Tobias this entire time. You know, it's really difficult to vote against your alliance, but I think I know what I'm going to do. Our alliance has been split since day 1. I know it has. Kaz and Liberty have each other's backs, and me and Natasha had each other's backs until, well, this happened. The only way I can get their full trust is if I play against Natasha, because I know that Kaz wants Liberty to stay, and I know that Liberty wants Liberty to stay, and if I go against what they want, well then, this alliance is never gonna get put back together. I cannot be on my own. It really sucks that I have to kiss ass, but I think I could turn this in my favor. It all depends on how I play the game after this episode, but the way I see it, Natasha is going home, and the Illuminati is being taken down to 3 people. Speaking of which, the Illuminati, like the real one, I think it exists. Well, I already know who I'm voting for. At this point, it seems like Liberty's my ride or die. I'm sorry, Natasha, but I'm gonna have to do it to you. Natasha, even though I'm about to kick you guys out of here in 5 seconds, please sit in the nom nom seat for dramatic effect. There we go. Isn't that dramatic? Well, now that everything's said and done, it's time for you guys to go. You know, I recommend that you 2 on the block try your best to swing the house, and if you give up, then you give up, and that's it, and we'll be back here in 20 minutes. So I got 20 minutes to swing the house in my favor. What the fuck am I gonna do? I guess a good place to start is Tobias. Hey, Tobias, listen, I know we're in a pretty dire circumstance as the Illuminati right now, but I really, really need your vote, and I think we gotta get the entire house on my side, okay? Natasha, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no way I'm campaigning for you. The alliance is already split, and I need to share Kaz and Liberty's vote in order to gain their trust again. If I was still on the block, I would expect you to do the same thing to me, except I would probably have a backup or a contingency plan to get myself out of the situation, but it seems like, you know, you're just fucked, Natasha. You are going home this episode. Why are you saying that to me, Tobias? Come on, help me out, man. Help me out. We did Xans together. That is all meaningless to me now. You are screwed. I can't believe Tobias would say something to me like this.
What does he mean he has to get their trust back? This alliance was never split. It's all in his head. I swear to God, he's some kind of, I don't know, schizo. He just doesn't make any sense. There is one more thing I can do, though. I haven't given up hope. Kaz, oh Kaz, this is my lament to you, Kaz. I'm gonna fucking go home and suffer and die. Oh, come on, Liberty, don't say stuff like that. No worries, man. I think you're gonna be fine. No, Kaz, I'm gonna get booted because I won the first competition. Well, hey, don't worry, alright? You know, we might be playing against our alliance here, but it's you versus Natasha. I mean, come on. My vote is pretty obvious. We just gotta make sure Tobias votes for you, too. Don't worry. I already have it covered. Tobias! You're just always sneaking around, aren't you? Listen, I already told Natasha to her face that she is going home. Liberty, you have my vote. Really? Yes, Liberty. We have to keep the Illuminati together. And if that means throwing, well, arguably one of our weakest players under the bus, then how can I say no to that? I'm really touched, Tobias. You're really coming through for me right now. Hey, it's all part of the game. Basically, Liberty, don't sweat. Yeah, Liberty, no worries. Oh, well, they're really making me feel good about myself right now. But they could be building me up just to knock me down. In order to be sure, I need to get somebody else's vote. Hey Arlo, come here real quick.
Yes, Liberty, what is it?
Hey, I have your vote, right? Like,
yes, of course you do. You put Juke on the block for me. And even though he didn't get kicked off, well, it means we have each other's trust, right? To some extent.
That's what I'd like to think. So I can trust you to vote Natasha out, and I can trust you to sway Juke to do the same thing?
Oh, believe me, I can do that for you.
Oh my gosh, Arlo, you're a lifesaver. You are saving my game right now.
I was half tempted to go up to Tessa and ask her to put Juke on the block. He definitely planted the seed in my head. But I think it's about time I start being loyal to people in this game. You know, I'm already going behind Juke's back. I don't want to go behind everybody's back, or else I'll see my ass out the door.
Hey, Aurora, Salvador, guys, listen, I need to talk to you. Whoa, Natasha, this is the first time I've seen you this entire game, you know, in person.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, as you guys know, I'm on the block this week, and I'm against Liberty. And I really need votes here. I really need votes because I feel like Liberty might have this in the bag, but I'm not giving up hope, okay? I need you guys to vote out Liberty because Liberty, that bitch will just keep gunning for your side of the house, okay? If she stays next week, she will just keep gunning for you and your game will be pretty much over. But if you kick her out and keep me in, I think I can get rid of Tobias next week. And that's gonna kill the Illuminati, okay? That's gonna kill the alliance that's gunning for you. You were supposed to be on the block last week. Me and Tobias wanted you on the block, so we went to go tell Liberty about it, and she said yes, but then Juke was on the block with Harley? I have no idea what happened. So wait, you're telling me that last week you wanted me kicked off the show, but now this week you want me to save you? Yes. Well, it's a good thing you're up against a bigger target, because that's some pretty stupid fucking logic if you ask me. Yeah, I know, it's dumb, but listen, my alliance threw me under the bus. I'm willing to do anything to stay in the house at this point. I will blow up the alliance if I have to. I will destroy it. I will tear it apart from the inside out. I'm not going down without a fight. But I just don't know how to. I think I have an idea. What is it? Well, Kaz told me something pretty helpful. If you would like to know. Yes, tell me what it is. Do you really want to know? Yes! Do you really want to know? Yes, for God's sake, Salvador, just tell me right now. Well, see, me and Kaz discussed this little situation where... Hey, Arlo, guess what, you little biatch?
Natasha, what is it? Why are you approaching me with such profanity?
I know your little secret, and I know why Juke was on the block last week instead of Aurora. And I know that you don't want your game blown up. And I brought backup, bitch. So now you better be scared.
Yeah, we're her backup. We're her backup. You better vote with us.
So what you're gonna do, you little bumpkin, is you're gonna keep me in this fucking game. You're gonna vote Liberty out. Because if you don't, then your entire secret's gonna be exposed to the house.
Yeah, you tell him.
Then Tobias is gonna fucking get all up on your ass. Do you understand?
You tell him, Natasha.
But guess what? If you and Juke vote out Liberty, and your secret gets kept under wraps, well then congratulations, because your game could go about 1,000 miles further.
Damn straight.
But if I tell her everything I know, then it's fucking curtains for everybody in the Illuminati, and the extended Illuminati, which you are in.
Ooh, burn. Well, shit. I really don't know where Natasha heard this from, and frankly, I don't care. Most likely it was Kaz, because Liberty being on the block has no reason to expose herself like that. But that doesn't matter right now. Instead of confronting Natasha about this, I'm going to play completely dumb. Although, I don't know if anyone would believe that, because I'm so smart normally. You know, I know everything that goes on in this house. I know everything. I know everything that's... I don't know shit, you guys. Natasha, I don't know what you're talking about. Why do I have anything to do with the fact that Juke was on the block last week? We were in an alliance, you know, why would I want that? Because you fucking met up with Liberty in secret and told her that you wanted him off the block because you're pissed off at him. I know all the details, don't play dumb. So you're telling me that me having no prior relations with Liberty would go up to her as MB and ask her to put somebody on the block, somebody in my alliance, mind you, put them on the block. That doesn't seem, I don't know, completely idiotic to you. Yes, it does, but I wouldn't put it past you because you're an idiot. You're an idiot, Arlo. You're a fucking idiot. Why would you do this? Why would you split my alliance like this? It's the only reason I'm about to go home. Because Tobias wants their trust, so he's ditching our half. He's singling me out, all because you had this stupid secret meeting. There was no meeting, Natasha. Look, I don't care who told you this, but I want you to know right now, it's a rumor. They're trying to get into your head, and you're losing your goddamn mind because you're about to get kicked off the show. I'm sorry, but I just can't vote for somebody who's going to be so erratic. That's not why you're not voting for me. I know why you're not voting for me. It's because you and Liberty have each other's backs. You and Liberty have each other's backs behind our backs. You've had them the entire time. But tonight, everybody's gonna know. So, if you're not going to tell me now, they're going to find out later, okay? If you're not going to admit it now, you're going to have to admit to everybody later. I doubt Natasha's actually going to blow up everybody's game. I don't think she has the gall. On the other hand, though, she would have nothing to lose. But the only chance she gets is right before voting. So, she has to decide. Is it going to screw herself more to blow up everybody's game? Or will it benefit her to shut her mouth? I think we did pretty good. I think we campaigned pretty alright. But I really hope me and Salvador's threatening presence was enough to sway Arlo into doing the right thing. Because if it wasn't, I'm gonna give him a knuckle sandwich. Actually, no, I'll leave that to Salvador. He has bigger muscles than I do. My punches feel like butterflies, to be completely honest with you. Welcome, trembling mortals, trembling in fear. This is the final countdown. Before we get on with the voting, I'm going to give both of the nom-noms a chance to give a speech to the House and explain why they should stay instead of their opponent. So, Liberty, you're up first. Hey guys, so it's pretty crazy that I'm here, you know, right after winning the first comp, and I'm not gonna break an arm jerking myself off or anything, but you know, I really think I've earned my spot in this house, and I really think I deserve another chance to stay. I personally think for myself that second episode is way too early for Liberty Russo, but hey, you know, I'm not voting, you guys are, so I really need to appeal to you here. Basically, if you keep me around, you guys, like, if I stay in this house, you know what, fuck it, I have the votes. You know what, I don't even really feel the need to. I have the votes. So, Natasha, go crazy. Wow. Alright, Natasha, you heard the woman, go crazy. Well, alright. So Liberty seems pretty confident that she's staying. And I think I know where that confidence is coming from. Basically what happened, you guys, it's crazy. My entire alliance turned on me last second. So, here's what I'm gonna do now. I have a little facts to spit. You know, I hope you don't mind. I had to write it down on a piece of paper. I know it has to be brief, host, but don't you worry your little precious bald jellyfish head, okay? Here we go. Basically, what's happening here is I tried to save myself after Tobias told me to my face that he planned to throw me under the bus. So this is my last chance to sway some votes here, alright? I heard from Salvador, who heard from Kaz, that Arlo tried to convince Liberty to kick Juke out of the house because Arlo was annoyed with Juke and wanted him out since day one. And Liberty went through with it, and that's why, Juke, you were on the block with Harley last week instead of who me and Tobias, you know,
as an alliance wanted, which was Aurora. Like, bitch, Aurora, you were supposed to be on that block, bitch. Liberty, you lied to me and Toby's faces when you told us you put Juke on the block and we fucking knew it the entire time. Arlo, did you... Is this true? Juke, listen, buddy. I can explain it to you later. Arlo, please, just tell me. I might have shut my mouth. Toby didn't tell me to my face that you guys were throwing me under the bus now. Well, Natasha, I hope you weren't planning on swaying the vote too much, because what you just said only pissed off everyone who is voting for you even more. Did you know you were doomed or something? Kiss my ass, Tobias. The Illuminati was a fucking joke. That's all. Thanks, guys. Well, if we're all done having a hissy fit, I think it's time to get to the voting. So, everybody, you know, as we always do it, single file line, you know, just like the little kiddies do on the way to the playground. You know, whoever wants to be line leader, go ahead. I'm really not that picky. You know, let's just do this. Aurora, please cast your vote to eliminate. Well, she tried. But I said I was going in with Liberty, and I don't think Natasha dug herself out of this one, but fuck it. Voting for Liberty. Arlo, please cast your vote to eliminate. I don't understand why Natasha went through with blowing up my game, but just because she did that, Natasha, get her out of here. Juke, please cast your vote to eliminate. Well, you know, I still don't, I really don't know what to do here. You see, because Liberty... You know, Liberty's playing into the hands of somebody who I thought was on my side. But as things are turning out, you know, it doesn't seem that way. But Natasha is the one who told me all this was going on. I really don't know if I can believe her. But I think that this is my only shot at, you know, maybe getting Arlo back on my side, because I don't want to be alone. Natasha, you gotta go. Kaz, please cast your vote to eliminate. Woo! I didn't think I was getting away with that scot-free, but my name was barely brought up. And nowhere have I been mentioned, you know, at least to my knowledge, that I was in the Illuminati. So I'm getting away with that scot-free, basically highway robbery. Natasha, get her out of here. She came this close to blowing my game up, and I don't need that to happen again. Also, Liberty, my ride or die. Let's keep this train going, sister. Salvador, please cast your vote to eliminate. Liberty, even though Natasha is screwed. Tobias, please cast your vote to eliminate. Natasha, you fucking idiot. I'm sorry it had to come to this, but, you know, you decided to blow up some games, and you were doomed from the start, and I know you're angry, but hear me when I tell you, I can only be so loyal to one half of an alliance that has no hope of seeing the other side. So, with this, I gotta bid you farewell. Speaking of the other side, did you know that there's nothing on the other side? Like, when you die, that's it. That about wraps up the voting, so let's get right into who's getting kicked off this episode. By a vote of 4-2. Natasha, you've been kicked the fuck out of VIBEHAUS. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 pew 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 pew, wop wop wop, waka waka waka. Oh yeah. To be completely honest with you, I think I would have rather gotten hit by a real bus. And just like that, just like making a fresh batch of cookies, Natasha Strongboy has been kicked out of the VIBEHAUS. 8 squatters remain. Who will explode? Who will jump for joy? Who will pick their nose? Who will tie their shoes? Probably not Arlo, because he doesn't even look like he knows how to tie his shoes. Ooh yeah, Shemaya, I survived the block of episode 2. You know, I'm so glad that my alliance came together and really just helped me stay in the game. But one person I am sus of now is Kaz. Why did he tell Salvador what happened in the MV? He couldn't have had bad intentions. After all, I'm still in the game. I don't think he was playing against me there. I think he was playing for himself.
But it was Salvador learning that little tidbit of information that led Natasha to completely explode, therefore evicting her from this game. Pretty alright. I really did get away with murder. And not just, like manslaughter murder, like I got away with first degree premeditated murder. I was never mentioned alongside the Illuminati, and I'm still pretty sure I am believed to be innocent in all of this. So what does this mean going forward? I have no idea. Well, it seems I have some explaining to do to Juke after this is all over. It's okay. I'm sure he'll understand.
I have been lied to before in my life, but never has it stung this bad. You know what, though? I think I can get him back on my side. I'll do anything, really, I will. But if it doesn't work out, I guess I gotta find some other people to fall back on. What am I gonna do? Gosh, I am just struggling in this game, man. It seems like nothing's working out for old Juke. Well, next time is my time to shine, you can believe it. I'm aware that if the Illuminati keeps going, I'm no longer in charge. So what do? Do I give Kaz and Liberty the silent treatment? Do I act like a whiny little bitch the rest of the show? No. See, I've got something planned for next time, and I don't think anybody's ready, so I'm not gonna tell you now. I'll just let you see it. After all, the only way to fully understand my plan is to see it in motion. I can't just tell it to you. Kinda like the fourth dimension.
What a turbulent MB I just had. I'm glad we were able to stir up some shit because, to be completely honest with you, the first episode was way too boring. And I think it's because I had nothing to do with it. So, now we know. If Tessa's in charge of an episode, shit goes down. That's the rule. Because I am Tessa. I am a survivor. I've survived being inside a bear. I've survived being inside a whale. I've survived being eaten by scorpions for fucking dinner. Okay? They got me in a picnic and everything. The mom was passing out portions to the kids and they were like, Mommy, we're hungry for Tessa's fucking skin. But guess what? You're not gonna get my skin. I'm gonna get your skin.
It seems like the tides are about to turn. I don't know where the rest of the house is going, but I know that I've got my ride or dies. And I hope that throughout the course of the show, I can get over the fact that me and Aurora have a sort of chemistry that reminds me of me and a certain somebody, and I'm not going to get into this, I'm not going to get into it in this confessional, but...
Do you need a tissue? No, I'm okay. I'm really alright, I swear, I promise.
Oh, this is going to be a long show.